A desire to seek new revenue opportunities combined with technological advances and increased globalization has led to many corporates now selling their goods and services across the globe. However, many corporates face a difficult decision when it comes to managing the risks that these new sources of revenue bring. One of the toughest decisions they face is how to manage the FX exposure in high-carry emerging market regions. The tendency for these currencies to devalue significantly emphasizes the need for dedicated exposure management. Yet the disproportionately large hedging costs often discourage corporates from entering into the hedging products that would protect against such moves. The situation is further complicated when examining the past, showing that over any substantial time frame, hedging these FX risks tend to underperform relative to the costs. When faced with hedging a revenue or asset in an emerging market, corporates have a few choices available. Leave the exposure unhedged. Hedge using options. Hedge using alternative signal-based strategies. Consider the correlations. Let's start with the first option, leave the exposure unhedged. Some currencies are expensive to hedge. Brazil, for example, has averaged over 8% over the last 15 years. But did it provide value? In short, no. The typical one-year move over that same period fell well short of the cost. And Brazil isn't alone either. As you can see, forwards have simply not provided good hedging value. But just how bad can it be? Well, it can actually be pretty bad. In many cases, the unhedged approach has outperformed the forward hedging approach by as much as 30%. We really have to be certain why we are hedging. Is there another way? Well, yes, hedge using options. If being unhedged is an unrealistic choice, a corporate may want to consider the next best thing, hedging with options. With options being a broad term for a class of products, we need to be more specific. We have found that bought-at-the-money options have historically performed better than forwards. And with the recent accounting changes taking place under IFRS 9, options should now be back on everyone's radar. However, we understand that many corporates can't or don't use options products. Now, while it's great if they could, we have found another way, a signal-based approach. A signal-based approach is definitely something to consider, and we at MUFG have focused on hedging with forwards only when it is cheap. The price of hedging is regarded to be cheap when it is in the bottom third of costs, observed over the last 15 years. For example, when you hedge the Brazilian real when the forward is below 7.5%, this has often led to outperformance compared to being unhedged. In Indonesian rupiah, for example, this approach would have significantly outperformed the unhedged approach. Finally, let's not ignore the power of correlation. Consider the correlation could be indeed an attractive way of removing a number of more tricky exposures at a discounted cost. By combining the size of the exposures in conjunction with the correlations, a risk waterfall can be constructed. Portfolios that contain large amount of diversification need to be studied carefully before making a hedging decision. Hedging the wrong currency could potentially destroy value or, in the worst cases, create additional risk. By running a full portfolio optimization and considering each currency in context of the portfolio, an efficient frontier can be found. The points on the frontier are optimal. They show the portfolios which are most effective at reducing risk at every given cost level. MUFG can help you run this type of analysis to better understand the structure of the efficient hedging ratios. MUFG's expertise as a foreign exchange provider covers all major currencies and markets. We offer comprehensive trading services as well as bespoke foreign exchange risk management solutions for a wide variety of situations. Be the world's most trusted financial group. This is MUFG.